there, I'm Simon. I've just been having a ball playing Led Zeppelin's Kashmir on a TD-30 kit. I've created a patch which you can download and try out, and I'm going to go through detail now on how that was created. So this is a legendary song. It's one of the most difficult things to try to recreate because everyone knows the sound of this track, this Led Zeppelin song, and the sound of the drumming, but also the drummer, John Bonham. Fantastic drummer. You might be able to buy his kit and tweak his sound, but it doesn't mean you can sound like him without playing like the man. So that's very difficult to do. And this is one of those tracks that's all about the sound of the drums and the feel, because it's a very simple drum part really in its essence. Robert Plant was quoted as saying it's what he doesn't play is what makes the track so fantastic, and I definitely agree. It's all about just that pocket drumming that John Bonham was so famous for, and also the character of the drum sound. So let's get into a bit of detail about the drum sounds that I chose. On the bass drum, I ended up going for a rototom bass drum. Now, John Bonham actually played a Vistalite Ludwig kit, which was this big sort of resonant kit made from plastic actually. But on this, I went for something that sounded like the recording rather than being exactly as it says on the screen. So I found the rototom bass drum actually suited the sound of the song more. So if you trust your ears, then often you can find a sound that's much closer to the original. So this is my bass drum sound. I then went in there and I adjusted the shell depth of the drum, which is a fantastic feature of the TD-30 kit. Usually John Bonham was playing quite big bass drums, but they're actually quite shallow, so I was able to replicate that sound here. I went and chose a plastic beater for the bass drum pedal. I don't know what he was using, it might have been wood, but again, I just had to trust my ears and choose something that seemed to have the right amount of snap for the bass drum on the recording. The other thing I did was I chose a coated bass drum head. We can also choose pinstripe and clear. And muffling, I've muffled the bass drum down a little bit and added a bit of snare buzz. So the snare actually will buzz when I hit the bass drum. So here it is without it, and here it is with it. You can actually hear that the snare itself is actually vibrating when I hit the bass drum. The other unique thing I can do with this is adjust the position of what sort of microphone and where the microphone is on the bass drum. So I chose a slightly inside position of the microphone, a large microphone, so it's like an egg-shaped D112 AKG type microphone that I've seen in pictures that John Bonham used in the studio. And so I was able to tweak that and get this big sort of reverberant bass drum sound. The last but not least element that really makes this sound close to the real deal is using the multi-effects section in here and applying a phaser to the drum sound. So without the drum phaser on the drums, it's quite a standard bass drum and snare sound. But with the phaser on, it sort of goes in and out, and when you actually play it as a groove, it has a really unique sound to it. So this is the phaser effect in here. I've adjusted the intensity and the timing of it to match the recording. So here's how it sounds with all of my elements combined together. So that's how all the elements come together to make something that sounds like Led Zeppelin's Kashmir. Hope I did a good job. I really tried. It's one of my favorite all-time tracks, so it's a great thing to play on the TD-30.